Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 36 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name's Gage, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Dan's in a different location this evening, but looking good.
Yeah, running on the phone.
For anyone new here, the three pillars of StreamYard are ease of use, professional-looking streams, and stability. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard might be the tool for you. And we do these town halls every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific to make sure we're using StreamYard and staying in tune with you guys and getting feedback and answering your questions. We're probably going to keep this town hall relatively short. So if you have any questions or topics you want us to cover, be sure to just let us know in the chat. Lots of people rolling in here. Thanks for tuning in. Michael, nice to see you. And LTMW, thanks for joining us. Doug, thanks for joining us. Glad you made it. Gaming with Marco, thanks for tuning in. Adrian, Pete, nice to see you here. And Lady Veronica, thanks for joining. I'm just going to mute my phone really quick. So the first topic of this evening was we had a couple exciting milestones we wanted to talk about. So the first one was a YouTube milestone. We have 1,000 subscribers now, which is pretty cool. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed to the YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribed, please do so we can hit our next milestone, maybe 2,000 subs. That'd be cool. And milestone, cool. Yeah, for sure. And a milestone that I'm actually even more excited about is we now have over 8,000 active StreamYard broadcasters. So every month, over 8,000 people are going live with StreamYard, which is a pretty big and exciting number. And we're glad that you guys are broadcasting with us. It's just awesome that we get to create a product that so many people use. So we're really excited about it.
Agreed.
Dave, thanks for joining us, and thanks for the congratulations. Sorry, got the police going by here. 8,000. Yeah, we're pretty stoked on it. It's loud tonight. I should have closed the the window. So the next topic was we have some. We keep hinting to it, but it's rapidly approaching. We have some really big changes coming soon. Definitely this quarter, and hopefully in the next few weeks. And we're not going to tell you what it is before we actually release it, but it's something. It's the biggest change we've ever made, and I think people will be really, really happy with it. I think it's something that a lot of people have sort of. I don't want to give anything away, but I think people will be really, really happy with it. So make sure you tune in and stay tuned for that. And we'll be doing other fun things along with that. We'll probably be doing a giveaway and some of the other cool stuff that you won't want to miss out on.
Yes.
And then of course
I'm super excited for that one.
Yeah, Dan's deep.
It's even.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all I think about. It's all I think about. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the surprise aspect too of not telling people what it is until it's ready, and then it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We have our StreamYard shows, so make sure you tune into those. We've got Ross Brand goes live on Wednesdays on a show called StreamYard Connect, which is a lot of fun. He talks about latest news and tech involved with live streaming and sort of highlights how particular people are using StreamYard. So if you're on LinkedIn or you're not on LinkedIn, either way, go check out Ross. He's fantastic. And we also have Rob Balasabas finally figured out how to say his last name correctly. We have him in the StreamYard community group on Tuesdays, and he interviews StreamYard users to highlight them and find out how they're using StreamYard. So if you're interested in participating in those, make sure you join the StreamYard group. And if you want to be on the show, reach out to Rob. He's awesome, and he'd love to interview you. And I'm also excited that we have. I'm not going to reveal it yet, but we also have some other awesome content coming soon on our Facebook page, most likely, and potentially our YouTube channel. So I'd be curious if you guys have any ideas on what you'd like to see for some of that new content. We're going to have someone else doing shows. So if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see, so right now we've got Ross doing news and tech, and Rob doing interviews. If you have any ideas for what you'd like to see for that content, like maybe growing your stream or monetizing your stream, or what topics you'd like to hear about, I'd be curious to know. I'm just going to pop back over to the chat because I'm missing lots and lots of comments. Skelly, thanks for tuning in. Charlotte says towing podcast. Oh, that's Charlotte's podcast. Yep, she has an awesome podcast. I think was was maybe supposed to be rowing podcast. Yeah, rowing podcast. There it is. Beauty Bubble, thanks for joining us. Adrian says, will there be NDI support anytime soon? It's something that I need to look more into about what all would be involved for us to add it. It's definitely not soon, but it's definitely not something I'd write off, because it is nice to be able to bring in remote cameras that way. So I wouldn't say no, but it's not on our radar just this second.
Do you want to just explain that really quickly too, just for anyone who's never heard of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Caitlin, thanks for joining us. Hopefully I don't mess up explaining it, because I'm honestly not super familiar with it. Hopefully I get the acronym right. I think it's a network device interface. I'm not 100% sure, but it's relatively new. I can't remember the company that developed it, but it's only in the last few years that it's been available. But basically, it just makes it really easy to bring in cameras that are connected to your local network. So generally, that'd be like just your home network or wherever you are. So if you've got a camera that's hooked up to Wi-Fi, it's super easy to bring that into a broadcast if the tool you're using has NDI support. But we do not have support for NDI at the moment. Dark Throne, thanks for tuning in. Jeremy says, would be nice to have a backstage where people could talk to one another. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So rather than the backstage now where everyone's sort of silent, have a private area. Dave agrees. I'm just going to scroll up to make sure I didn't miss too much up here. Dave says his viewers are loving StreamYard. Great to hear that, Dave. Thanks for sharing. Terry says, is it true that we don't get the same watch hours being on StreamYard as we do on YT? It works exactly like a normal YouTube live stream. So I would think, I don't know exactly what you mean by watch hours. I'm guessing you mean YouTube's analytics or something like that, but it should be exactly the same. If you could give me a bit more information about what you mean exactly, that would be helpful. But it works just how Hangouts used to work. It's just a YouTube event and it streams to that event. So it should work exactly the same. Natural Curiosity, thanks for joining us. The Sirens are the third host of the town hall. Yeah, they made a brief appearance, but they were they came. They were ready. They were loud and clear. Skelly says, can I join? I think it's just going to be Dan and I this evening, but we are interested in having guests on. We haven't gotten too many requests for it, but if you'd like to join us on one of the town halls, just shoot us an email, contact@streamyard.com, with a little bit of information about yourself and what we can talk to you about. We had Hanny Mora on from repurpose.io. That was a lot of fun. He talked about his product Repurpose, which is great for turning your live streams into podcasts. And he's a fun guy to chat with.
Yeah. So if you have anything, like if it's just something that you think could add value to the StreamYard audience, definitely let us know, because that's what these are for, right? So
absolutely.
I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this that would have something cool to add. So yeah, don't hesitate to shoot an email. Yeah.
Lots of, tons of people here know way more about like the actual content creation process than us. So if you have value to add there, we'd love to have you on. Let's see here. Adams Exploit says, question, can you guys please allow guests to type in the YouTube chat when on a panel? It was great you added chat for guests, but they can't use that to type in the chat. Yep, that's fair enough feedback, and I can see how that's a desirable feature. It's mostly just a matter of, for the guests to chat, they'll have to log into YouTube, so we just need to add the option for them to log into YouTube, but at some point, you should most likely see that.
Yeah.
Adrian says, one more question. Streams with outros don't always finish after the video plays. There's like a 1 to 2 second gap. Any way to fix that? Yes. So when you end a live stream, it's sort of not exact when YouTube will actually shut it off. So it is sort of a timing game. The way that I like to do it, that I think works quite well, is I will put up a overlay like this one, and then play the video, and the video will play on top of the overlay. And then when the video ends, it will show that overlay, and that sort of gives you a clean ending and a backdrop after the video is over. I think that's a decent workaround. At some point, we might give more options for intros and outros to sort of have it more tightly integrated. But right now, you do have to time it.
Yeah, and like you said, there is a bit of variance with YouTube, and each platform's like slightly different in terms of the exact second that they end. So
yeah, it does make so no matter what you do, it's each one is slightly different. Dave says
So
it's
I
almost
think
off
I
season.
think
Go ahead.
I think what we're doing, or what you're doing with that backdrop, I think that's the best way to do it for now. Absolutely.
Yeah. Jeremy says, thanks for adding the YouTube comments to all the users instead of just the host. Absolutely. People asked for that one for a really long time, so we were happy to add it. Let's see. Michael says, I always give too many requests. We appreciate it, Michael. It's always helpful to know what's important to people, so we do appreciate it. Dale, thanks for tuning in. I'm thinking Dale's saying he does the outros the same way. That's good to hear. Kateri says we need the option to add moderators. Yes, that's also on our radar. Generally, what we suggest right now is to just make sure something we could do a bit better job of, because last time we had some I don't know, trolls in our chat a little bit last stream. But generally, what we recommend is that you have moderators on the platform you're streaming to. So if you're going live to YouTube, you want to have some moderators on YouTube. If you're going live to Facebook, you want to have moderators on Facebook. Especially if you sort of different people draw different types of crowds. So it's more or less important depending on what kind of content you're streaming. But despite that, I do agree that it would be nice to have moderation controls for the host inside StreamYard, and it is something we would like to add. Oh, that was his name, Dave. Ronnie didn't make it tonight. No, Ronnie took a break this evening. Fiery says, thank you for the platform. Of course. Thanks for using it. Let's see.
It's a lot of fun to work on too. Like, it's very, very cool whenever we hear feedback from people, especially if it's super custom feedback. Like, hey, I was doing this, it didn't work. I started using StreamYard. It's awesome. And, here's why I really like it. I mean, it's such a cool product to work on, and to get that kind of feedback from people, it's exciting stuff.
Yeah, I always appreciate that people just spend the time to give us feedback. It's awesome, because you're making something people actually care about. It's because if you're making someone no one cares about, no one's going to give you feedback. So the fact that we get so much feedback is awesome to hear. One final topic I wanted to touch on is there have been some Chrome updates over the last few weeks that have caused some issues for people using various types of web cameras, which is no fun, but unfortunately, it's sort of out of our hands. I know Chrome is aware of the issue. So the first issue is that virtual cameras no longer work in Chrome, or at least not without doing some workarounds. So if you're using a virtual camera, you'll have to use. We do support lots of other browsers though. So if you're using a virtual camera, you can use Firefox. That will still work. As far as I know, everything other than Chrome should still work, as far as I know. So Opera should still work. Brave should still work. I'm sure I'm missing some of the other browsers.
Edge, the new Edge.
Oh yeah, if you've got the latest version of Edge, that should work. The very, very latest version of it.
Yeah, I think it's still beta, but the new Edge is built on Chromium, so it works as well with StreamYard.
Yeah, and the other Chrome update that has caused some issues is they added. I need to look back at the report that they made to remember exactly what the issue is. But some update that they made involving a security change caused. It seems to mostly affect older cameras. There's certain types of cameras that Chrome is no longer picking up, especially older Mac cameras, just because of some security certificate or something that's required. I'm butchering the actual cause. I have to look back at what the actual cause is. So if you're unfortunate enough to have that happen, make sure that you try a different browser, or using a newer web camera would also probably work, because Dan and I are both using Chrome and haven't had any issues. But I know there's been a lot of people that have. It seems to be the built-in cameras and the older cameras that now have been having some issues on Chrome lately. So if you are affected by that, Firefox and the other browsers we touched on will still work, and hopefully Chrome will resolve it soon. They know about it, and they are always pushing updates. So hopefully it will be resolved.
The other thing as well, Gage, I haven't checked this one yet, but there's like other versions of Chrome. Like I run Chrome Canary a lot, which is like a newer version. So if you absolutely need Chrome, you can install the beta or the Canary or something. But
do they have it resolved in that version?
I'm not sure. It's just usually it's 2 or 3 versions ahead. So
right, if you want the very newest one. We should probably be careful recommending that to people in case they accidentally get on the beta version of Chrome.
Big caveat. If you're fairly tech savvy and you just really need a solution, getting a newer version of Chrome is an option. But I think actually Opera would be
Opera's
my first pick.
a good browser, yeah.
Yeah, because very similar to Chrome.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. There's quite a few new comments here. 3D printing, thanks for joining us. Let's see. Quite a few people asking for 1080p. That is on our radar. Jeremy says, are there any plans on a mobile app? So not an app, but people can already join on mobile for guests. So if you have a guest, they just need to, whatever their default browser is on their phone should work. So on an iPhone, that's Safari, or on an Android, that's probably Chrome or the Samsung browser. They can just join just right by clicking the link. And we do want to support mobile hosting as well at some point.
Yeah, and one thing just to add to that, we actually spent a lot in terms of, I'm guessing you might be asking about the host, but from a guest perspective, we did spend a lot of time trying to make sure it just worked in the browser. So, because it's way more convenient for your guests to just click on a link than to actually download an app. So we purposely don't have an app for guests.
Yeah, downloading stuff is no fun. You just want to be able to immediately get right in there. So we do our very best to make sure that it works as good as it possibly can right in the browser. And the nice thing is that's always improving too. So for anyone that's knowledgeable about tech, there's more and more support coming for browsers right on the phone. So it'll continue to improve as well.
And we do work fairly closely with Safari, just because we're really on the cutting edge in terms of iOS Safari support with video. So we've just been continually communicating with engineers kind of working on the video stuff built into Safari. So whenever there are issues, we're definitely able to get those resolved and help them improve their browser.
George says that OBS virtual cam still seems to be working fine for him. So maybe it's not everyone. I was under the impression that it was all virtual cams, but I could be wrong. Maybe you're on an older version of Chrome, or maybe it's not affecting everyone. Let's see. Oh, okay. I was mistaken. Sorry. The virtual cam issue is only on a Mac. Thanks for clarifying that, Doug. All right. I think I've covered most of the questions here. Lots and lots of 1080p. It's on our radar, guys. So thank you for the feedback on that. But unless I think we've covered all the questions, and in that case, I think we'll let you guys get back to your Sunday evening. Do you have any final thoughts we should cover, Dan?
I don't think so. Just many, many exciting things coming.
Yes. Biggest change ever. It's going to be awesome. So, and hopefully soon, hopefully just a couple of weeks, we'll see what happens. Dan does have one question. I have a very good system and I use Chrome, but I find from time to time it's saying wireless internet slow, but I'm on hardline connected. So that is a bit strange. I'm guessing there's a few things that I could see causing that. Maybe there's someone else also sharing your internet that's doing some heavy downloading or watching Netflix on the television and streaming in a lot of data that's sort of interrupting your connection. That could be one cause. So you might want to check on that, or if your internet's just really slow in general. So I'd be curious, like what your internet speeds are, Dan, because you could have an awesome computer, but if the internet's really slow, you would still potentially get that issue. Michael says, looking forward to news. Yes, us as well. Beauty Bubble, thanks for reminding people. Yes, the Facebook community group is an awesome place where you can meet other StreamYard users. We're very active in it, answering questions, and it's just a fun group to participate in. So yeah, be sure to join that group. Just on Facebook, just type in StreamYard Community Group. Should pop right up. And I think that is just about all of it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This was episode number 36 of the StreamYard Town Hall. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and stay tuned. Big things are on the way for Q4.
Right on. See you guys next week.